Thank you. I'm live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you get a chance to come on, there's nobody in the room right now. I am, it's been a trying day today. It's been extremely trying day today. Um, I went out into my garden. I don't see, we had a couple of cool nights here. We got down into the lowest of like 46 degrees. And I found out a lot of my plants that I put out there to a couple of days before it got that cold. It was a situation where the plants were in 70-degree temperatures, and then it got down to 46 degrees at night. And needless to say, according to the charts I have here, it was saying to me, let me see what I've got here. This is one of the stores in my area, and it's called Meyer Seed Company 2019. Um, so they have a chart here for my particular zone, everything about where I'm at right now. And here's what it says here. It says, let's see, um, sweet corn, put it in the ground May the 1st. So it was getting warm, and I got a little greedy, and I tried to put it in there 4 days before this actual date. So it might mean that I'm actually going to be replanting my corn. If that's the case, I better start early enough to do it, because I don't see it, any of the corn peeking out yet. But what I'm going to do is check and see the exact date that I put the corn in, and then I'm going to try to match that with what we have here. Then we got, it says here, planting date. You could actually do another planting all the way up to June the 15th of corn, and that's seeds. Um, so I still got time to play with. My potatoes are doing great. I mean, I've grown potatoes before, but these are some of the healthiest, prettiest plants I've ever grown. They're hard, sturdy, and tough. That has to do with a lot of it has to do with the black cow, and also the fish emulsion, which I'm feeding it on a regular. Tomatoes, put that in, like I said, around the same date, lost all of those. Um, Replanted them today. Today is the second, so let's say replanted by May the 1st. And this time around, what I did, even though it was 72 degrees today, I still put them under a heat mat, because I want to make sure that they stay at a temperature that consistent even when it drops down at night. Watermelon seeds, March, May the 1st. I got watermelons actually already out. They didn't die, uh, even though we got down, like I said, about 46 degrees. So now the temperature's just going up. In fact, it's so hot in here right now. I'm running a fan. I don't want to. It's not important. But anyway, I'm running a fan, and we got eggplant. Lost that. And let me tell you what happened today. We had a little bit of rain today, but I go out on a daily basis and I check my plants. But when I got out there, I discovered that one of the neighborhood cats had knocked over my tray. It had all of my seedlings in it. We're talking everything from eggplants to tomato plants to pepper plants, you name it. They were all in there. Knocked it over, and that's the deal on that. So cats, that was my fault, because I've had this problem before, and I just did not, you know, think that they would move in again, but they did. Hello, morning gardener, and all. Hello, how you doing? Good to hear from you. I was just basically talking about the setbacks that I had today, but I look at it this way: it's all part of it. Um, and it was a good thing that came out of what was going on, because when that neighborhood cat, knocked over the tray with all of my seedlings in it, that set me back. But in a way, it set me forward, because what happened was the the cat knocked it over. That made me go, wait a minute, let me go check these seeds because these seeds should have already been popped out of the ground by now. But when I went and checked, none of them were doing anything because of the low temperatures we've been having here lately. So I'm good. I'm good. Everything's back in. Everything's back up and running. Like I said, I'm using a heat mat now because um, this was one of the strangest years I've had trying to get seeds started. Uh, for many years, I've had no issues like this before. I mean, you put them in, they live, they die, they live, they die. So I'm saying, I'm going to have to, do a little bit of work on what took place there because I've been having that happen very frequent this year. All other years, no issues with growing them. Put them in. So it might be a equipment failure that I have, either a heat mat, or it could be the area that I'm putting them in. Maybe it's getting colder than I'm actually thinking it should be. So I'm gonna just do what I got to do here because uh, mostly I think I'm suffering with is temperature drop. Like what you just wrote here, and say yeah, the temperature. And I had cheese variation issues this year too. Okay, so thank you for writing that. I appreciate that because I kept thinking it was like all the years I've grown things and I didn't have much of an issue at all. But this time around this year, it was like it was like it was like a learning experience. So now I'm straight now. Um, Heat mats underneath the plants. So I'm all set. Heat mat, cover on top. It was 72 degrees today. Tonight it might go down to maybe 58, 60 degrees. So I'm going to be good because I'm going to leave that heater on those plants. And when they start popping their heads out of the ground, I'm going to put the cover on and move them right out outside to really get them hardened off and everything. But they are going to stay in a situation where there's heat. Um, it's getting too close to planting time to be making any major mistakes. Now, as far as the corn goes, like I said right here, this chart has every single thing that grows in this area where I live. Sweet corn, like I said, I got up to June 15th to do my last planting. Um, and then we got the eggplant, which May the 15th. You don't want to be messing with them right now unless I would put them in an area where there's just a lot of heat at because it's pretty much a plant that doesn't tolerate cold very well. Kale, I gotta say something about my kale. My kale is on the money. It's doing great. Um, I had to up my dosage of fish emulsion because I had it too low. Actually, I had it too low because I kept on their schedule watering, and I kept looking at it and saying, wait a minute, why aren't these plants moving? They're not. They're not. These plants are still the same size. Um, so they're growing beautifully. Now, my other thing is the mustard greens. They showing off. Um, the collard greens are showing off. They're doing their thing. And so they're getting ready to move them from the little grow trays out into the garden, and where I would load them down with cow manure. And also, I'm using a homemade blend of my liquid fertilizer, and they're just going to act crazy. I've always had much success with collard greens. I don't even think about it other than to keep them on a regular feeding schedule. Dig the hole big enough because I grow them in little groups, and I dig the hole big enough and keep the soil loose so that they can do what they need to do. Collard greens is easy to grow if you just put them in an area where they have a loose soil and the right fertilizer up underneath them. They love nitrogen. They love nitrogen. So let's see what we got here. Yes, the mustard greens are surprisingly strong. Um, I'm growing these from seeds I've had now for close to about 6 years. Um, and the reason why I grew them, I said, well, you might as well go ahead and grow these because these seeds go all the way back to a number of years. So go ahead and grow these up, and hopefully I can get some seeds from them because they grow better once you get them familiar with your soil. Then all you got to do is just put them back where they need to be around your soil, and they'll automatically start growing. I think that's it. I think I started. It's too soon. Too cold. Yeah. Your Garden City. Yeah. We all do that sometimes. You think that if I start them soon, I'll get a jump, and then sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate, and it just really gets frigid. A different type of cold. I always say a different type of cold. So I'm doing pretty good now, and I think you're going to be okay as well. It's not yet too late. Well, I can only speak for Zone 7B, and it's not too late yet. So I'm still on the money. I'm still on the money. I'm still working with it. Um, I have to stay away from the seed stores because I know if I go in there, I'm going to get some more yellow squash and also some gray zucchini. I really like that. So a lot of those seeds, you got to just Walmart still has some of the 50-cent seeds. They still got them. So if I get time tomorrow, I might hit them for that yellow summer squash because they got that 50 cents seeds, and you just slice them up, put some onions with them. They're pretty good. My grapevine that I purchased, folks, dollar. I got for $1. They doing good. They doing good. They're doing good. You said they turned your mush, huh? Into kiwi. Oh, okay. Now, are you talking about the kiwi I just bought? Okay, the one I just bought. I just finished checking it. Maybe I want to about 35 minutes ago. It still has two leaves on it. The branch structure on it looks strong, full of moisture. So it's been in the ground now for I want to say about a week and some days. Um, so I gave it a little bit of fish emulsion and to see could I get a little boost on getting it moving because uh, it's once it's been in the ground for about a week, it's going to take it a little time. It's still the roots are still inside of the old soil that it's in because the roots have moved that far that quick. And so the if the roots run out of food, then I might have an issue. But since I gave it the fish emulsion tonight, good dosage of fish emulsion, I think that it's going to be fine. Once it pick up that fish emulsion, it should really start branching out because fish emulsion is really good for leaf development and also developing its structure. So that's how that works. That nitrogen again, that nitrogen. Grapevine's doing good. I watered the grapevine with I hit it with some fish emulsion. That's good. I want that plant to start moving. No, I don't make my own fish emulsion. It's if I use fish, all I do is go get the, like if I got a big plant I'm putting in the ground, or like a pepper plant or a tomato plant, I just go ahead and get the guts and the head, and dig a hole, drop it in there, and put a little spacing of about an inch and a half or so between it. Set the plant on top of that. I got something in mind. No. Put a block of we put the plant right on top of it, and you should see what happens when it rots down. It just, the plant taps into that, and the biology makes the fish available to the plant. And once that happens, it's on. Plants act crazy. You should see how crazy a plant actually acts when you give it the right stuff. I've been a witness to that. When you give it the right stuff, it doesn't just sit there for weeks on end not growing. If your plants are sitting there for weeks on end and not moving, then something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. You should see what my mustard green look like out the garden now. If you went right now, look at an old video of mine right now, and if I put a video up of the mustard green, you say this can't be the same plant. But in fact, they are the same plant. Same thing goes with my potatoes. My potatoes are acting crazy. I mean, they are thick and burly. The plant. I mean, tough plant. Hello, hello. Original. So that's what I do. I'm trying. You gotta treat your plants just like kids. If you can do that, you'll be successful in growing plants. The beans I put in the ground for fun were from a pack that was about from 2015. I just put it in there for fun. I put some basil in the ground. Didn't grow a lot of basil this year. Oh, you remember I went to karaoke? Let me tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what happened when I went to karaoke, and it allowed me the energy to still be able to work on what I work. Okay, first of all, I went up there with a hurt foot. My foot, if I walk too much, they'll start hurting right underneath, right up top, and they call it fasciitis or something like that. I think it has something to do with it. The structure of my foot that's supposed to be flexible is no longer as flexible as it used to be. And so once I get the slightest little fiberish tears in it, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if any of the rest of you have ever dealt with foot pain that would just come out of nowhere and almost cripple you. But yeah, yeah. I mean, crippling where you can't step down on it. Anyway, um, what was that? Yeah. So it let up. It took a days to let up. So anyway, now I'm walking around. I can get around, but I'm still, kind of sensitive about how I walk on it. So I go up to karaoke. I get up there. I see an old truck driver friend. He he's got this girlfriend. It's really kind of weird because he's like 40. I want to say like 46. She's like 20. I don't know what she's 24, 25. Anyway, total. It doesn't match. Those two don't match at all. I mean, you could. He looks very unhappy. He looks extremely unhappy, actually. You know, and he wasn't like that before. Anyway, but that's what he wanted. He wanted a pretty face and all that, so that's what he got. Anyway, so that being said, we got up. No, he left. He said, "All right, I'll see you later." I think it was there 15 minutes once I got there, maybe 10. So anyway, I get called up to sing, and I did. Uh, Now I don't know if any of you are familiar with Lou Rawls. I do. You'll never find, and people loved it. They loved it, but they always like it because what I do is a little secret that I do. I'll tell you because you're not in Maryland and everything. A lot of people don't know what I actually be doing. Um, the trick is I practice a lot and I study a lot when it comes to like different vocal styles and how to use your vocals and breathing techniques and things like that. So that's what I do. So when I go there, people think that I'm like a karaoke singer, but actually I've gotten paid gigs, singing because I've worked on it so many years and actually got up to the level where people say, "I'll pay you to come sing at my wedding, or I'll pay you to sing at my birthday party," things of that nature. So anyway, I go to karaoke. All the DJs know me here in Maryland. They all know me. You say, my name, they know me, and they say, "Oh yeah, he's a monster." But it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. I I actually warm up before I go to karaoke. And then when I leave karaoke, I come home and if I make recordings and I study what I did, uh, how can I improve this particular line of the song? In other words, I'm obsessed with it. Okay, that's my point. So that's what I'm trying to say is that I take it very serious, and it sounds that way when I sing. It's like this guy is he is not just you know, but I'm actually building a set. I'm building my own set of speakers because I want speakers to do a certain thing for me when I sing. Yeah, plantar fascia is very painful. I had it before. Wait a minute. How do you mean you had it before? Don't you sometimes have flare ups? You still? I mean, do you have flare ups sometimes? I think it's my job that makes it worse as well because I'm on my feet a great deal. I mean, I went through a whole thing with constantly switching shoes and everything. I mean, I didn't know what to do. Oh, okay, okay. In winter sometimes. Okay, okay, I got you. I mean, painful, and it'll actually the pain will move around from the bottom to the top part of the foot and everything. I mean, it's painful. Well, you already know. Oh, okay, you dealt with it as well. My God, it's painful. It is so. I feel for anybody who gets it because I'm dealing with it right now, and and I'm kind of rough with my hands. And if I massage it too rough, it makes it hurt even more the next day. Okay, you stand a lot as well. Yeah. Now there's a shoe that I bought that helped me out a great deal for months, and it's made by Under Armour, and it's like a police officer shoe. And I got to tell you, at first when I got that thing, that shoe straightened me up. It straightened me up for months. I didn't have any problem with it. Then as the insole in the shoe wore down, the shoe didn't wear out. It's just the insole has gotten real hard. Um, I have to change the insole in that shoe. Beautiful shoe though. Under Armour. Kind of on the pricey side, but they do the trick. Oh, boy. Okay, you bought like a Okay, you want like a vibrating manager. Let's see. Oh, hello, man. Maybe just uh, oh yeah. The arches would definitely help. You're right. They would definitely help out a great deal. Hello. Hey, look, brother, how you doing? Hey, look. Um, I was watching your video today, and you were talking about. Well, no, I watched two of your videos, and I think the one was you was digging a hole to put a tree in, and I saw your soil. I looked at it. I said you got clay soil in the front yard or the side of the yard, wherever you were digging it, like I used to have. I still have soil like that in the front yard, but in the back part of my property, the soil is definitely improved because I do a lot of chop and drop in that particular location. But I looked at that video, and then I saw the video where you were talking about um, you don't like when gardeners explain things and they try to make it very complex, as though uh, they're talking down to you in a sense. uh, or they want you people to believe that they're really very smart people. Um, and the thing about it is, I had a video like that. I probably did a couple of them where I said, that I really when I go to a video and I see a person that gets on there and did like you did today. You say you take the tree, you dig the hole, you put the tree in there, you set it in properly, you backfill the soil around it, and you water it. That's it. There's no brain surgery here. But what some people do, they'll take all this amount of time, explain the stuff to you, even down to they'll say there's a video on. I don't know if I can't call the gentleman's name. He's showing you how to plant a fruit tree. He's even explaining to you what a shovel is. I was done. When you have to explain to a human being what a shovel is, I don't know what to say about that. I just don't know what to say about it. But he actually explained what a shovel is and what it does, and it was just interesting. Let's see, excellent. Yeah. It's something. It's something. Good evening. Glad I caught you online. Oh, I'm glad you caught me online as well. Um, we were talking about my mischief, well, my problems I had today with my garden. Some of the neighborhood cats thought it'd be a good idea to take all of my seedlings, from peppers to tomatoes to corn, everything, and knock it over. And so they did. So I went out there and I looked and I saw all of the tomatoes fell out of their little cups and they were mixed in with the peppers and they were mixed in with the eggplant. And I was like, I can't believe this. Oh, come on. But I took it in stride and I looked at it and said, this is your fault because you knew that these cats play and this has happened to you before. So you set that there and you created this situation. Cat knows nothing about your garden. All he knows is he's up there saying, wonder what this is. Let me push it on this side. Oh, I knocked it over. Wow. I don't know what happened there, but I'm getting out of here. And it's what it is. They're just cats. Yeah, yeah, but that's what happened. So here's a good thing that came out of it. All the seedlings that I've been waiting for about 5, 6 days, I kept wondering why I didn't see them popping out yet. Well, you put them out there, it got cold some nights and warm some nights. It actually killed everything. So when I started emptying out the cups looking for anything that had started sprouting, not a single sprout. So it was a good thing that came out. So what I did is I replanted everything, brought it indoors, put it under a heat mat, put it under a dome, and boom, I know that's going to be successful. I know it's going to be successful. And then I gave another check when I went out there and I looked at my new grapevine, which is doing great, by the way. Um, Hit it with some fish emulsion, hit my kiwi with some fish emulsion, the new one that I put in the Hardy. Once I get it up and going, there'll be no stopping it. Well, yeah, I started to do that, but you know yourself, sometimes people get a little anxious. Um, the Mother's Day is what I usually do, but I have had years where I have started the second month of the year, and when spring came, my tomato plants were that tall, and they were thick and burly, had no issues with them. So I had to jump on everybody because when I put it down in the ground, 10 inches deep, I had tomatoes, and I had them early, and it was just a beautiful thing. Hi, everyone. Swiss chard, yeah, Swiss chard. I like Swiss chard. I have a lot of collard greens right now growing, kale growing, potatoes growing. Um, they're doing quite well. Um, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. Everything is looking good. Let's see, one. It looks like you got a good selection there. You got the asparagus. I usually buy the asparagus uh, from seed and grow it because it's cost effective and it actually works. Um, yeah, I think asparagus likes a loose soil, type of loose soil. Doesn't do too well if you can get it to grow in clay soil, but it's kind of hard to get it to grow there. Good evening. Oh, good evening. How you doing? Let's see, Garden City Food Forest. Hey, I did good, folks. I got sizable, um, what they call them plants, doing pretty well now. They are peaches. Peaches are doing good. Apples, I didn't get a lot of apples. That's amazing. When them trees are young, they'll give you a little apple here, a little couple apples there, and that's what they do. Well, folks, it is 8:50 on your FM dial. Let's see. I planted cherry tree 2 weeks ago. I believe. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Cause wait a minute. What is the temperature where you are? You say you planted a cherry tree 2 weeks ago, and now the leaves are dropping down. Any tips? Because I know that I have some leaves dropping on the cherry tree, but that's a disease that I have. So, and because it's warming up, and the cherry tree is producing all these cherries, but the leaves are dropping off. So I know that's an issue. So I looked it up, and I can't think of the name of the disease. But when you see it do that, the tree is actually that's not a good sign for me. I know that because I had this happen a while back. The same type of cherry tree dropped its leaves, had all these cherries all over it, and then it died. Um, but you might not have that situation. You That's why I asked you what's the temperature where you are. Oh boy, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Hey, backyard. Uh, Everybody y'all bought two cherry trees last night. I stock bros. Okay, you bought two cherry trees last night. Congratulations. I wonder how you got them though, because I mean, it's not. They're not. I don't think they're dormant right now. Okay, okay, got you. The temperatures are in the 80s. Let's see. Why would a tree uh that was this tree let me read that again. What you put up here? I said I planted. Was this one the bare root tree that you planted? Was it? Well, was it in a pot? Mr. J, when you get a chance, was it in a pot or was it in a no, it might have been a bare root because yes, the trees are not dormant right now. So you probably bought it in a pot. There's a lot of information I don't have, like what kind of soil do you have? Is it clay? Is it sand? Now you know what I would have did. Now this is a good idea. Hey, then all right. You said the Stark Brothers is having a sale. One of their trees seems to be drying, and the other is blooming, but do not have a pollinator. So I bought two more. Okay, okay. Um, what is the cost of these trees that they're selling? Out the door. Let's see. I put a video up on my page. Oh, okay, okay. I'll go check it out because I would like to help you out because it. Okay, so these trees are under $20. That's something you can't sneeze at. Because I did that, I went and hit them for a tree that was called a Pink Lady apple tree. It was $6. I said, "Oh my goodness!" So you know I got to go check that out. And then I'm gonna go and okay, let's see. We got $20. What kind of trees do you have that What's this harmful? Hiding in the harmful. He said it was a cherry tree. Cherry tree, yeah. I wish the hell would get somebody $120 for a tree. They got a place online called Fast Trees Growing, whatever, something, and they're very expensive. There is a disease. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to Google when you get a chance. My cherry tree is dropping its leaves in blank summer or whatever. That's what you want to type in. That's what you want to put in, dropping its leaves. And the information is going to be there right there at your fingertips. I hope that helps. Oh, fast growing trees is horrible. I would have never thought they were as much as they charging. They're bad. Okay, yeah, since you said they're bad, that's why they have. That's why they're horrible. Fast growing trees. I remember that place. I used to look at it and I said, wait a minute, I'm not giving nobody that kind of money for no tree. And then I would go right back to Stock Bros and get it, and their tree was just as big and pretty. Yeah, you're right. They're way too expensive. They're way too expensive. But a lot of the tree prices are going up anyway because they know that we're trying to grow food, and that's why these trees are going up because they're looking at the sheer numbers of trees that are ordered per year. Because let's go back 20 years, even 20 years. They saw that people growing back then is just kind of like a hobby. They was like, let's get a plum tree in the yard just for fun and see how it grows and eat a plum every once in a while. Now people are not doing that. They grow on these trees. They're storing this food up. They're eating this food. They're trying to go to the tree versus the doctor's office and keep their health up. They know this, and they're being very shrewd about it. So they're putting the price up on these trees. Now, another very healthy plant to have in your backyard, blackberry, blackberry plants, blackberry plants. You buy one plant, you don't need to buy a whole bunch of plants. If somebody already bought a bunch of plants, and God be with them, that's good. But I bought one plant, and I got 15 plants from that one plant. But actually, if I would put it all together, if I was hardcore about it, I would have done had about 80 or 90 plants from that one plant because they do reproduce. And all you got to do is when they grow and touch the soil, they go. I think they call it tip rooting, because that's what they do. And then you clip it off at 12 inches or 8 inches. Take it up, move it where you want it. Boom, put it in there. I put mine all about 3 feet apart, and I let my plants feed me. And if you really want them to act right, they say some of the information that you really don't have to fuss over them. You really don't have to feed them and all. No, feed them. Trust me, because they'll produce more berries if you feed them. Yeah, 15 for one plant. Yeah, are you asking me? Am I getting? Yeah, I got 15. That was easy. That was easy. I actually could have did way more than that, but I just kept um, giving them away, throwing them away, things like that. Yeah, I mean, let me put it this way to you: you can take one single plant, bite the bullet. Well, actually, not bite the bullet because they got them up in Walmart right now. Well, they might be dead now, but when they first came up there, and you wait till they get about into about 2.5, 3 months, and they start looking over it like this. Then you go up there and you get with the manager. You say, you say, take them for $1 a box. And once you take them for $1 a box, you set. You set. All you gotta do is take it home, put it in the ground, pour some fish emulsion around it, and leave it in a sunny location. And that plant gonna show off. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I've been talking so long, and people say, "Wow, my goodness." Thank you very much, Lead Farmer. Oh my goodness. Now, if only I knew how to retrieve this money. I don't know how to do it. What was sent there before? I don't know. I didn't. I looked for it, and I couldn't find it. But I'm gonna do some more looking and see where it is. But it could already be where it's supposed to be, and I just haven't noticed it. But thank you very much, Lead Farmer. Oh man. Oh, I just want to tell you one thing. Um, the the fact that we're growing food, folks, is important. It's not a game for some of us. It's not a game. We are not doing this because we get fun out of it too. But I mean, you bite into a peach that's grown properly, organically. That's a beautiful thing. The sweetness, the juiciness. You know, oh my goodness. I'm just reminiscing, folks. You have to excuse me. But I remember eating my first apple off my own tree. The grocery store can't touch it. Cannot touch it. Cannot touch it. And when and if you have any fruit trees around, I want to throw this out there to a lot of you. If you have fruit trees around you that are skinny, that aren't producing anything, feed the trees. Start feeding the trees. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Start feeding those trees. Don't have a tree in there 2, 3 years and it's still all skinny. Feed the tree. When you start feeding them, you're gonna see a different tree. You're gonna see a apple tree that's all thick and burly, and then you're gonna see peach trees that no. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, don't no, but thank you though. I appreciate it. Um, the thing about it is these trees. One tree could, let's say, one apple tree could give you up to 80 apples if it's a dwarf. 80 apples. What are you gonna do with 80 apples? So you got 80 apples, and like if you're in a situation like I am, I don't know, I think about 5 apple trees. And the best thing actually is growing on my property is the apple trees. So I'm gonna stick with what works. No more cherry trees for me. No more cherry trees for me. I don't want to mess with them no more. I've had my fun with growing them. They look good when they come up in the spring, but other than that, no. You deserve it. We've been. Here you go. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Lee Farmer. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I do. I appreciate it. Um, I see you now. I see you out there in your garden, and you doing your thing because you're trying to grow. But you kept saying something in your video is that you don't have a lot of time to do what you like to do in the garden because it does take time to put in. Because I see some gardens uh, shows that the guy doesn't even have. He's an older man. He doesn't even have not one single stitch of weeds anywhere in his whole yard. Everything is perfectly lined up and neat and squared off and signs put up and everything. I said, this guy is retired. He has plenty of time to do this. Me, I got my weed whacker. I trim everything down, fertilize that soil with that weed whacker. I love my weed whacker. My weed whacker don't do anything but help feed me. Is what it does. Now today, I looked at my mustard greens and I said, look at that. A week ago there was nothing in, or two weeks ago there was nothing in that pot to eat. Now I got enough mustard green in there for two people to sit down at a dinner and have. Then it's going to be more in there than that. So it's all good. Jay, I don't know. I think you put $2 somewhere there. Something to that effect. I don't know what that means, but I think you bought something for $2. I'm not sure. Um, but the thing about it is the we're trying. I'm trying to grow food. There's no shame in anything I'm doing. I'm trying to grow food. I like fresh food. Um, and when I go to the grocery store and I see women in there and I see them buying all this substandard food that they're trying to get garden stuff, but they're not getting garden stuff. They're getting factory grown stuff, organic pop. Oh, Mr. J, thank you. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Um, thank you very much. Thank you. And like I said, I still want to look up, but I don't know. You're dealing with a situation. Go Google that and find out what's going on with that cherry tree. But me, myself, I don't want to mess with cherry trees too much anymore. I have what's the one? One, two, three, four, five. I lost one year. Same disorder you're talking about. The leaves started leaving it, but I don't see the leaves where they dropped. They just didn't grow back this year, and they grew it like missing spots. And I got all these cherries on that tree. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Being retired makes a big difference in the garden because you have all day long to mess around that garden, all day long. Even in the fall and winter, your garden could be immaculate. My garden, a lot of you know, you've been nice about it. Um, uh, is and that goes like this. The gardens, my garden is not neat. I don't grow a neat garden. I keep everything in control in the garden, but I don't grow a neat garden. I got a neighbor next door. He got these this. It's a tree. I don't know the name of it. They grow right up against our wall, and it's growing up. And I've seen what this tree does. It'll grow up. It'll create this big canopy, and it will attempt to block the sun out of my yard. That's not going to happen. Now I'm thinking about my neighbor also on an old lady next door. She has some kind of other kind of bush that's getting big, and it didn't take it no time. It's just getting big because it's going right over into my yard and getting really good soil. But what I'm going to do is I got to stop these trees because the one he has there now was a little teeny tree that was big around as your arm, and now it's big around as this, and it's a nasty sort of. It's lifted up cement and everything. I'm like looking at this going, this tree should have been killed a long time ago, but it won't die. And my neighbor likes those kind of things because it doesn't really affect him, I guess, because he's not a gardener, so you know. And his yard now is really grown up. It's really grown up. He needs to get out there and cut that stuff because I gave him a bush that produces cherries called a handsome bush, and that thing is massive. The book said it will only get about 8 feet tall, about 4 feet wide. That thing is 15 feet wide, 20 feet tall. Yep. And that's a bush. That's a bush. I gave it to him. He dug it out of my yard because I told him, I said, if you don't get it by next week, this thing will be dead. Because I got tired of that thing. It produced cherries, but it produced these little tiny cherries. And they don't tell you that in the book. They're about that big. The birds love them things. But when they excrete them, they're planting them things all over the neighborhood. I thought about that as well. I appreciate all of this help. You guys encourage me to grow. Oh, thank you very much, Jay. Thank you. But you've been out there. You've been out there a while. All of us are going through the same thing. We are putting our money on the plants, and we're growing plants that grow food. And when we get this garden going this year, I want to see pictures of everybody, peaches, plums, whatever you got. Just put them videos out there. But don't plant and then get displacement. I mean, I want you really to go out there every day, weed around them plants, um, fertilize those trees, fertilize those raspberry bushes. Today, I should have been out there uh, fertilizing my raspberry bushes because my foot hurt. I didn't go. But tomorrow they will get fed. Organic fertilizer. Because when you feed them up right, instead of you getting a few um, raspberries, no, you will get raspberries. And they'll be big and plump, and you'll be a lot of them. I have some videos up. Okay, I will definitely check it out. I will check it out as well. Raspberries, blackberries. You got the blackberries in your yard, feed them. Make them suckers produce some food this year. I mean, I did good this year. I got blackberry. I got 15 plants, about 15 plants out of one plant that I actually took the time to grow because I could have definitely did more than that. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Are the plants growing? Is what I want to ask you about your grapes. Are they growing? All right. Let me see something. Leaf farmer, means go. Let's see. Leaf farmer. Oh, yeah. Good night. Good night. Let's see. All right. Take care now. Let's see what we got here. Night lead. Okay, night lead. I just put it. Okay, everybody saying good night. Okay, so you're saying no. Um, oh wait a minute. I forgot the question I was asked. I think I asked you. Okay. When did you put these grapes in? I might be able to help you because I've been growing grapes for a long time, probably about 10 years. I got some grapes out there now on my vine this year. Okay, okay, I got you. You say it's like the vines are at a standstill. Okay, let me see. The vines are at a standstill. How long have you had those vines on your property growing? Last year. Okay. How often do you feed the vines? Okay, until you get back to me, here's what I did with my grapevines. Here's what I did. I took my grapevines. I use this technique, which I show you on some of my videos, where I got a hole in the ground next to the root base, about 8 inches away from the vine stock of the vine or stalk. You had this grapevine for 1 year in your property. They don't produce grapes that fast. Um, and when you see a plant, let's say, not very often. Okay, not very often. Okay. Um, you take, well, my hand's a little bigger than yours. I put in a half a handful in my hand, and I put that in that funnel right down at the root, 4.5, 6 inches deep, 6 inches deep, good. And you put that um, fertilizer down there. Read the label, and you put it down in that hole. Now, um, once you put it down in, cover it up with some soil. But I put the hole down there. And you see me use that. You see me do that. Once you put it down in there, you want to water it with a little bit of fish emulsion. Now that's for like a quicker uh, uh, pickup. So if you got a 2 gallon container, you're gonna use 2 tablespoons of fish emulsion, shooken extremely well, and you're gonna water that grapevine with that. That should start that plant to move. Now, are these grapevines grown in a sunny location or partial shade? Mm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a time to call it. Let's see. I want to thank each and every one of you for being on here and tuning in and definitely making my evening. And we learned some things on here tonight. All of us were talking and sharing information. This is the Morning Gardener. I want to thank you for tuning in and sharing this with us. And I wanted to say one thing. Remember to keep on growing, each and every one of you. Keep on growing. Thank you. This is the Morning Gardener.